Good morning, Tuesday, August the 5th, as I leave Little Current, Ontario. It's about 11:15 maybe in the morning. I got the remainder of my provisioning done. I got a couple of parts from the marine store this morning that I needed, so I can complete a couple more projects while I'm out here now. Had a bit of a difficult departure from Little Current. When I left the dock, I forgot to or neglected to account for the current that gives Little Current its name. And this boat doesn't turn particularly well to starboard at the best of times in slow speeds, and as a result I bounced off the end of one of the docks next to me. However, lesson learned and no harm done other than a little scratch in the paint. So I wanted to, though, share a little bit of the scenery as I leave Little Current. It's pretty spectacular up here. So as I'm departing Little Current, Picnic Island behind and to the left. That's Manitoulin's North Shore. Just off the bow and to the port is Narrow Island. And over here, a series of islands just off of the mainland on Wabano Channel. Again, beautiful, beautiful scenery out here. It's a treat, to be sure. This is sailing. Making just about 6 knots. Not quite hard on the wind, but pretty close. Going upwind maybe 45 degrees off the wind. Up between, well, that's Bear's Back Island there. And I can't at the moment remember what the name of that one is. It's not Bertrand, but it's something like that. And I'm headed to Hotham Island. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Okay, so here we're doing something called wing and wing sailing. We've got one sail out to each side. The boom is on the starboard side of the boat, which means we're on port tack. And the Genoa, I haven't pulled it out because I don't think we're going to be here very long, but the Genoa is out on the port side of the boat. And so this is called wing and wing sailing. The wind is directly behind us. You can see on that gauge there, the arrow in the middle of the compass on the left is almost pointing straight down. So that means the wind is coming from almost directly behind us. You can see there's, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 knots of apparent breeze, and we're making 4 knots. So probably there's 9 or 10 knots of wind out here, and we're going dead downwind at 4 miles an hour. Not too bad. Little risky, like I say, not going to live here very long and wouldn't do it in heavier winds or bigger seas. But another quick look around. Just a gorgeous day out here. All right, and we're headed for Hotham Island. Well, we're powering now. There wasn't enough wind to keep doing what we were doing. We're making about 2.5 knots, and I'd like to get there today. So, but take a look around here. You can see the Coast Guard sitting over there. I think he's waiting to catch somebody at something. And then these rocks just jutting up out of nowhere. I am currently in 63 feet of water, and if that rock is 500 yards away, I'd be surprised. And coming up here in front of us, we're motoring. Let me get that out of the way. We're motoring between that little island and that set of rocks. And you know, again, I don't think there's 300 yards in between them. But look at the view. Right, there's legitimate, maybe not mountains, but pretty big hills. Beaches, cottages, lots of rock. Super cool. All right, so this little island that we're motoring very, very close to is called Fox Island, and it has a couple of very, very popular anchorages in it. So I think there's a chance at some point I may be in one of those coves. Right now there's a cove there, another cove right there. But right now, today mostly, the breeze is coming from the east, which is a little bit unusual. Sort of northeast, maybe a little southeast in it, but normally the prevailing breeze is westerly. So these coves would be super sheltered when the prevailing winds are blowing. So maybe one day in the next couple of weeks I'll be in there. And this rock is on the other side of that passage, the passage we're going through. And this rock is called Bald Rock. I finally feel seen. Okay, so we're just a couple hundred yards from the entry to Hotham Island Harbor, tuck up on the north side of Hotham Island. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you what that looks like. Okay, so we're safely into Hotham Island Harbor. I'm gonna spin the boat around, do a 360. So you can see how many areas there are to choose for your anchorage. There's a couple of boats that you can see in view, and then there's a couple more that are tucked into nooks and crannies around the bay. Okay, here we go. Sailboat Dragonfly there. And we've been following them around a little bit on and off all week. There's the channel we came through. Has a boat in it. But maybe that spot straight ahead will be where we stay the night. But first I'm going to venture down the bay and see what there is to see. Okay, well, we found quite a remarkable little spot here. This is called Leroy Cove. It's way up at the end of the harbor behind Hotham Lake, and as you can see, it's very, very small. And I came through this very narrow passageway between the rocks. No trouble getting through. It was a little shallower than the charts had marked, but and I've had no trouble setting the anchor, but I'm sitting in only 6 feet of water, which makes me a little bit nervous. The boat draws about 6 feet with the board half down, so just don't want to take any chances. So I'm going to up anchor and go find something a little deeper.